Coast Nation, Sanbonan Bafetu, and welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQB. Now, to be honest with you, Bafetu, there's something which I very much do not like. I'm not saying all of you, but some of you are doing this something which I do not like, but it's something that is there, and we might talk about it, on another day, because it is a story for another day. Now, looking at what the latest updates are, because I do definitely have something which I do know. It's something, but it's something that you guys need to know about. So I will start off with Coach Hugo Broos, because he played a player who was not supposed to be played because they received two yellow cards, and this is what the rules and everything is saying. So we might lose 3 points. Go can, but anyways, we're going to see what is going to happen, because obviously the file complaint have been placed. It's just a matter of time. Are we going to lose the 3 points or Zagalani? And also Coach Hugo Broos responded in terms of the Magabuzwa to what happened. What do you think about the situation? What is going to happen? So obviously I do have his response right here. First things first, let's just have a listen to this.
In between, does that not count?
No, but this is a simple one. We know it even here at home. Here at home, I think if you get 4 yellow cards, you sit out the next game. In CAF competitions, if you get 3 yellow cards, you sit out the next game. So Tebogo Potsane was booked against Benin, our first game. That was match day 1. And then he was also booked for match day 4 in Bloemfontein last year.
Against Zimbabwe, yeah.
Against Zimbabwe. And also, what the rules say is that the cautions or bookings that are made in the FIFA competitions, they don't overlap to other competitions.
So 2 yellow cards,
yes.
As this is the rule that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
2 yellow cards means you miss a match.
Yeah, exactly. The match that follows after the second yellow card.
So he got a second yellow and still played the match against Lesotho.
Yes, so remember he was booked against Benin and then Zimbabwe. We played them last year. So the game against Lesotho was the next World Cup qualifier, which...
But what if I say to you, there were games in between? There was an AFCON in between. There was all these games in between. Does that not count?
No, it doesn't count, because those were AFCON qualifiers. And now, also... and
that's what 63.2 says there.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. It means it says that it doesn't overlap to the next competition. You restrict it to only the FIFA competition.
So what then happens if you fielded an ineligible player, which was what Tebogo Potsane would have been against Lesotho?
Yeah, so now there are 2 things that will happen. As you see there with 19.1 in the FIFA rules, that if a player fielded in a match or competition declared ineligible, that means now the FIFA judicial bodies that have got all these records, without a protest or anything, they can take it further, because it becomes automatic. When you see it. But also, that doesn't mean when they act on that, we are going to get points deducted from us. Because for us to get points deducted, you go to 19.2. That is where the team that feels that they are aggrieved in this case, they must lodge a protest.
They've lodged it now, have Lesotho.
But according to 19.2, in fact, not even 19.2, according to the FIFA rules, the protest must be lodged 2 hours after the game with the match commissioner, Failing that, it must be lodged within the 24-hour limit with FIFA. So if it doesn't happen, and I think that goes to 8.3 there on the protest, that there is that window of the 2-hour window with the match commissioner.
They're still within the 24 hours of the end of the match and should be dealt with by the FIFA disciplinary committee. Otherwise, they will be disregarded. That's also the 24 hours. So they didn't do it within the 24 hours.
They didn't do it, but I see that the Secretary General of the Lesotho Football Association, Mr. Mokhosi, is disputing that, saying that they've, in fact, since sent their query to FIFA. And also Nigeria. Remember, this story blew up in Nigeria. You can
the Nigerians picked it up.
Yeah, picked it up. So they were also the first one, the National Nigerian Football Federation.
Whose duty is it in a team setup like Bafana to have noticed, should have noted, or to know, Tebogo Potsane has got 2 yellow cards? Who failed at their job?
The person who signs off a team sheet.
Team manager.
Is the team manager.
Vincent is the team manager.
Yeah, Vincent is the team manager, and also even the information that comes either from FIFA or CAF comes to him. The difference with CAF is that with CAF, you do everything electronic, and he wouldn't have been able to put the name of Tebogo Potsane because the name of the suspended person gets blackened out. So with FIFA, it's different. You do
So as we
manual.
stand now, it's a blunder. It's a blunder that could cost South Africa qualification. It's a blunder from a SAFA point of view that could cost South Africa 3 points. And if that does happen, this is what the log would look like. Because according to what Uvile is saying in the rules, Lesotho don't get those 3 points, but they do get deducted from South Africa. We would then, after 6 matches and not 5 there, because it doesn't matter what happens, but at the moment with the 5, would be on 7 points, just behind Benin, equal with Rwanda, and only 1 point away from Nigeria. A dangerous place.
Well, as you can hear, we might get, those points deducted if ever, if FIFA does agree. Now, Nigeria and also Lesotho, those are the 2 country teams who have, decided to file a complaint in terms of the situation at Tebogo Potsane, because we feel that him, knowing very well what he had 2 yellow cards. Now, moving on to the next story of A2, the 2 stories that I think might be interesting. Or before I move into those stories, obviously I need to give you the verdict on what Coach Hugo Broos said when he was asked about Tebogo Potsane. So he says, I cannot comment on that at this point. It is an issue that will be resolved in the coming days. So I asked that you not expect any further information from me. No comment. Coach Hugo Broos. So as you can see and clearly hear for yourselves, Bafetu, he doesn't want to give out comments. And then moving to the next stories. Number 1, starting off with Tebogo Potsane, Bafetu. Now, according to the rumors, it looks like Tebogo Potsane will be one of those players who will be released by Kazier, just because it looks like the management doesn't hope or even think about using Tebogo Potsane in their future plans. So that is something that you guys need to know about. And again, from the beginning of the video, it's something that you guys do which I do not like. But anyways, it's not all of you, so I think in terms of that, because a lot of people who do this thing, I think it's mostly new people, but even some of you who are here or have been here does do this thing, which is a story for another day. And then also moving on, Bafetu, we have this player Aiden McCarthy. Now Aiden McCarthy, Bafetu, is a player who is very crucial, to be honest. A player who is much needed. He has been promoted to senior team, I think around 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and now he's no longer just part of the TDC, but also he's part of the senior team. Even though Siazi, he has not given that chance for him to show us what he has. It's been a while. So there's something that is currently happening from Bafana, which I believe it would be a good turnout if ever he was to follow through with the string, because Bafana, he's a great player, Bafetu, but there are those smaller mistakes which I think are the reason why he's not being selected as part of the squad. He's a center back who can also play as left back. He's more like Edmondson Dove, but without the experience level of Edmondson Dove, which is something that Dove has. And with us, I think here we have a good future when it comes to this boy. Now, I'm not saying they should sell him because I like the boy. He's a great player. We might need him in the future. All I'm saying is that because now we have two teams from the PSL side, senior levels, who are interested in signing Aiden McCarthy. They are monitoring him. That's all I can say. They are monitoring him. They are impressed by him. Even though Kumbule, when he played Lapago Khan, he made a blunder or missed the penalty, and then he was given a second chance. I was watching the game, and there are some, small things with Maganga's fix Umfana. He would be, the best of the best, and definitely we might need him. So for now, the only thing I can say is, if ever it's possible, because we have two teams who are interested in this player. We have Murumo Kalanzi and also ETS Galaxy, which we definitely know whenever he goes somewhere else to get game time, he might be, someone like I don't want to speak names, but anyways, those are the two teams which are interested in Aiden McCarthy. I'm not gonna say they want to sign him, but they are keeping an eye on him. So definitely, let's hope is going to be someone who gets a chance to be loaned out. For me, I believe if he gets loaned out, then definitely, yeah, because I know Wuti, as time goes on, when we need him, Sizomtinga Simbuse back in the club. There's no need for us to sell this player. He's a very crucial player, very important one. I understand but that should not be something to take away from the guy, because he is also a great player. As much as he fumbles, also he does prove to be worth it when it comes to our games. So I definitely do think that we need to make sure, in terms of Aiden McCarthy, we just make sure we loan him out and then sikhona nokumbuyisa, unlike selling him out player elifana noPhuso Ditejane. I understand he was being a pig-headed player, but look at what he's doing now. So that is something that we need to keep in mind when it comes to our product 22. What else? Oh, definitely, I think that's all buffet too. Those two players, and also Coach Hugo Broos. If ever this thing gets too serious, we might get our points deducted, and bonile ibaganjani table when those points get deducted. So number 2, which is something that might cost us, but definitely I'm happy with the performances of Abachita. The squad, they've managed to play about 13 games now unbeaten, which is a record. It's a record buffet too. We have to give it to our coach Hugo Broos. It's not easy, but I think he's done his job, selecting the squad that he did select for them to represent us. I understand there are some fans who are not following Bafana buffet too. Whether you like it, you don't like it, Bafana is from South Africa. Those guys represent us. I understand that there's no KZ's player in the squad, but that doesn't mean we do not have to support, our country. We do have to support home country too, because obviously it is where we are from. It is South Africa. It's home. So if we are not supporting our players, who's going to support them? So definitely, buffet too, we do need to make sure we support the squad. Tebogo Potsane looks like they might let him go. My pale contract I think contract expires next year, June 2026. Those are the updates. And then also Aiden McCarthy is a wanted man by Murumo Kalanzi and ETS Galaxy. They are looking at possibly signing this young player. Hopefully Mabanga Mtola on a loan. I don't want KZS to sell this guy. I want them to give this player a loan so that I can see him, on the PSL side, on the PSL level. I fix my mistakes so that we do know with Nangajani we do have a great solid backup, because I love the guy. He's a great player. But another thing, those small players